Guess it would help if I had my camera on here. All right, guys, I am doing a live stream. I am going to be on, or I am on YouTube. Get this thing set up here. So if you guys want to support me, move over to YouTube. You don't have to. You're welcome to stay here. But those of you who rock hard with me, come to YouTube and watch there. Hey, Blondie, I see you. Everyone, you know the drill. If you've been here a while, drop your city and state. If you are new, comment newbie. If you have been here for more than one live stream, comment OG. So you're going to put newbie, city and state, or OG, city and state, and I can shout you out. But if you want to come to YouTube, it supports me. YouTube takes care of content creators, Instagram doesn't. And so YouTube, I am broadcasting on Instagram as well. So if you see me turning and talking this way, that's the reason. All right, so we have an OG from Providence, Rhode Island. Hey, love. We have Darien, Connecticut. Nice. Houston, Texas. Hey there. We got a newbie in New Jersey. Nice. We have, let's see, where are you watching from? Let us know on YouTube where you're watching from. Jacksonville, Florida. She's been watching you for about a year. Nice. So you're definitely an OG. We have OG in Greensboro, North Carolina. Very nice. Shout out to my newbies, all these newbies. We got Beauty by Q from Fairlawn, Ohio. Very nice. Melson from Connecticut. Very nice to have you guys. All right, so we're going to be talking today about 8 things that men really value in a woman. These are characteristics that they find extremely sexy. Of course, we know on the outside what is considered sexy, but what attracts a man and keeps him rather is what's on the inside, her personality. All right, we got an OG from Long Beach. That's where I was born. Hey, Zen, nice to see you. Hey, Willie, he's been rocking with me for a long time. We've got another newbie in Houston. Very nice. I am currently in Dallas, so nice to see another Texan. Although I'm always going to be a Cali girl. Newbie, Plateau State, Nigeria. Oh, very nice. Okay, so you're definitely the furthest out. Okay, so we're going to get into it. 8 ways or 8 things that make a woman sexy in a man's eyes. Oh, I didn't even see you. Hello, Mr. Kitchen. He said, what about me? You were definitely an OG. He said, I'm in Florida. Very nice. Truly Me says, hey, hello. All right, guys. So we are 2 minutes in. Those of you watching the replay, hopefully you're able to just skip forward. Those of you watching the replay, though, make sure you let me know you're watching on the replay. It's always nice to see who's live and who's watching afterwards. All right, so number 1, if anyone wants to subscribe, by the way, on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. It's always nice for others who come in who have perhaps missed it. So on YouTube, if anyone wants to subscribe, feel free to do that. Basically just means take notes. I'm doing 8 different qualities. And if you want to comment those and list them in order, that would be great. All right. Lauren says, hey. Okay. He said, everyone, this woman is official. I appreciate that. He's been knowing me since my Facebook days when we were just in a little group and I was too scared to do anything public. All right. So number 1 is confidence. Okay. This is something that I feel is so underrated. I think that women think that they get a pass if they're shy or they don't want to seem too aggressive with a guy or something like that. But the reality is that when you do not exude confidence, it is such a turnoff. Think about, I always flip it to make it really clear. Think about a guy who you see is really handsome. Maybe he stays in the gym and he comes up to you and he's fumbling his words and I don't know if you want to go out with me, but I would just love to. It's right, it's such a turnoff. And then you might have another guy who maybe isn't as hot if you put him side by side, but he walks up to you, looks you dead in your face, right, look at you in your eye, doesn't bat, and he's like, oh, I gotta see you again, here's my number, like, oh, right, gave myself the chills. Confidence is so big. Thank you so much, Sovereignness, for scribing for me. All right, so number 1, being confident. And there's a difference, y'all, between being confident and arrogant. I always say if there was like a little meter, I want my guy as confident as possible, but don't go past the line to arrogance. Arrogance is a turnoff. Arrogance is when you have to announce how awesome you are. Confidence is when you just know how awesome you are and you let other people realize it. Arrogance would be bragging on yourself, leading with your accomplishments, talking about how beautiful you are. Personally, I think some people think it's confidence. I am super cringed out when I see women or men posting about how awesome they are, how beautiful they are, how bad they are. It's just like let it just speak for itself. You don't have to actually type it in all caps. What do you guys think? Do you think that's just a lot of confidence coming out, or do you think that is bragging and arrogant? My favorite is when people announce that they're humble. Kind of want to know if they've looked that up because yeah, the announcing. Those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Looks like two of you have not hit the like. Everyone else has. So if you have come in and you haven't hit the like, please do so. Not because I care. For me personally, it's because YouTube doesn't know if you're enjoying it or not. So if you are enjoying it, that's the only way that they know. Aside from your presence being here, so go ahead and smash that like if you would. She said, if I like some, I'll be shy. And you're such an outgoing personality when you're comfortable, girl. We've got to turn that off. Okay, number two, having a vibrant life. These are 8 ways that make a woman sexy in a man's eyes. And you might be thinking, who cares about my life, right? Well, let me spin it to the opposite. There are some women who are living for meeting a man. They are living for being taken out of the singles market. They are living for this fantasy life that they think will finally happen. They'll finally start living in color. Everything's going to be great because now they have a man. And the reality is that if you were bored before having a man, you're going to be bored while having a man. Having a vibrant life is important because it exudes something in you. It's not necessarily a confidence thing, but it's this radiant thing. When you have something that you're passionate about, something that you do. I know for me, it's one of the things that my guy was attracted to. He loved the fact that I had an entrepreneurial spirit. It's not because specifically what I do, but the fact that I'm passionate about what I do. I try to figure out how to make money doing what I love. And there's something about a man who just sees a woman going after what she wants. And don't get this confused. It's different than wanting a woman who's financially successful. It has nothing to do with the dollar amount. She could make no money at what she's doing, but she's passionate about it. She's full of life. Because if you think about it, with women, we give men experiences. Men give us their resources. So a man is going to want a rich experience with a woman, and she's not going to be able to give him a lot of that if she doesn't have anything rich within her. Does that make sense? How you guys doing on Instagram? Oh, I forgot to pin it here. Sorry, y'all. I forgot to pin the topic because I'm over here talking on YouTube as well. So I got distracted. But please join me on YouTube because YouTube takes care of content creators. So same name, it's just Chasing Yonci. Just go on YouTube to hit Chasing Yonci. He said we love passionate energy. Thank you. I love it when I get a male co-sign live and in person. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I am toggling back and forth with my verbiage. Thank you so much. Just pinned it right now. And so did I say my verbiage? I'm toggling back and forth with my eye contact. So talking to you guys on Instagram, talking to you guys on YouTube, trying to hit both platforms at once. But if you guys want to scoot on over to YouTube, YouTube takes care of us, if you know what I mean. And so if you're going to watch it either way, appreciate that. We are on number 3, talking about 8 qualities men find sexy in a woman. And as I mentioned earlier, if you weren't on here, of course, your physical sexiness is going to catch his attention, but it will not retain it. When I get a new follower, I ask them what their status is, and I always ask, do you feel confident in your ability to maintain the interest of a man? And a big majority of them say no. So this is definitely something that women need to tap into and learn. Thank you. I'm seeing more of you jump in. If you come over from Instagram, comment Instagram in the comments so I can thank you. I appreciate it a lot. But if anyone wants to come over to YouTube, it really helps me out. All right, so we're on number 3. You ready, Sovereignness? Number 3, knowing how to use your big girl words. Okay, I can't tell you how many times women struggle with communication. Maybe they communicate, but they do it in a way that's really abrasive and harsh. This woman knows how to communicate, and she still leaves him feeling respected. She doesn't make him feel like he's belittled, like she's his mom. She still lets him be him. And one of the tricks in doing that, hey Doug, nice to see you. Natural Honey said she's from Instagram. Thank you so much for doing that for me. I really appreciate you switching over platforms. One of the ways that you can do that, and this is with any relationship, not just romantic, start with I. So instead of like finger wagging, you are doing this wrong, you need to do this, if you say I. So for example, let's say if your person isn't being affectionate enough, you don't say, you're not being affectionate enough. You could say, I really feel loved when I feel affection. So she can communicate what she needs. She can communicate what she wants. She's clear. A lot of times, I think as women, we expect men to read our minds. And if you were to date women, you would know how different each woman is. So there's not like a set standard of rules, that men can just learn over time. Each woman is different. Some women have certain preferences, other women have different preferences. So there's really no way for a guy to win. You have to walk him through it. And you might feel like I did when I was younger. If he loves me, he would intuitively know some of these things. Chances are he doesn't. They are, we'll just have different dimensions. I won't say they're not multidimensional, but they have different dimensions than women. There are some things that men are just so great at. Like, for example, you guys are so good with logistics. You can look at a trunk and know exactly how to fit the suitcases and luggage in there, like a Tetris game. I am like, "Rrr," my brain just isn't wired that way. So we have different characteristics that make us great. Oh, you are amazing with the notes. Thank you, love. She's going above and beyond. She said, got it. Affection increased. That was simple. Exactly, right? And guys they're usually not, they don't usually get offended by direction because they're very directional. That's part of masculine energy. It's like, give me a target, laser focus, and go after it. So give him what you want. He doesn't need all the backstory, he doesn't need all the emotions, he doesn't need all the drama. Just, I'm thirsty. If you can get me water, that'd be great. I prefer cubed ice instead of crushed. Boom. He knows. He said, great mindset. Thank you. Those of you who just joined in, if you are willing to come over. Oh, thank you, Doug. I see he popped over from Instagram to YouTube. Thank you. If you can come to YouTube, YouTube takes care of me. Anytime there's a viewer, uh, it helps the content creators. So if you guys can do that, Instagram, it's all free. We don't get anything for Instagram. So unless you want to buy a badge, you guys can just pop over to YouTube and same name, and it helps me a lot. She said, I'm a man. No, I don't think I said she. I don't think if I said she, that was an accident because I completely could see you're a man. And I know who you are. So that was a slip of the tongue if I did that. Okay, so number 4, real quick recap. If you guys are on YouTube, you will see my girl Sovereigness. She's scribing everything for you. But if you're on Instagram, you don't get to see that. So we have 3 so far. What makes a woman sexy in a man's eyes? Being confident, having a vibrant life, and knowing how to use her big girl words. Okay? All right, number 4, being a nurturer. This is huge. Oh, thank you, Doug. You said that and the likes started going up. Thank you. Go ahead and smash that like button if you would. It lets YouTube know this is the type of content that more people should see, and it'll push it out to more people and notify them. Still slapping. All right, so number 4, being a nurturer. She knows how to pour into a man and leave him feeling better than when he arrived. Okay, nurturing could be silent. Nurturing doesn't have to be going out and doing. And I think a lot of times, if women don't understand feminine energy, they think like a man. I want to spoil him. I want to spend money on him. I want to take him and do things. And it doesn't have to be like that. It could simply be saying, come here, babe, and letting him sit and lay on you and rubbing his hair. It could be just touch. Men are very affected by touch. And I don't necessarily mean sexual touch. Obviously, they like that. There's a time and a place. But just, rubbing the back of a guy's neck. How many of you guys do that? I love doing that. Just you're on the passenger side, rubbing the back of his neck, maybe rubbing his leg. Um, Nurturing could be making sure that he has something to eat. He's always running late. So maybe you grab the coffee that he likes or something like that. But just nurturing, being a listening ear. You might not always have the answers. You might not always have advice, but you could just be there to listen. And it's sometimes people will tease someone and say, I'm not your mom, or the guy might say, I'm not your dad. But the interesting thing is, I feel like the parents kind of are supposed to pass the baton as far as a role to the spouse or the partner. So I look at my father. My father was there to give me wisdom, to protect me, to provide for me, and provide a safe, stable place for me to be. That's pretty much the same, and to love me unconditionally. That's the same as I would expect in a partner. And so, aside of discipline, it's pretty synonymous. And look at a mom. A mom is loving. She's a safe place to go. She's encouraging. She's always there. She's making sure your needs are taken care of with the finances that the father provided, right? And so that's very synonymous with the woman. Um, so I think that if you look at the things that you like in your mom, what your mom did for you, then that gives you kind of an idea of what you could do for your guy. Again, you just don't want to do it in a patronizing and belittling way because men do not want to feel like that's their mother who is mothering them. Number five, she knows when to pick her battles. Okay. Have you ever seen a woman who, oh my gosh, the restaurant's air conditioning is too cold, or my steak is too tough, or there's so much traffic on the road, or I don't like that shirt on you? I mean, there's something negative about everything. She said, I have to take a class this year. Oh, I hope so, Stizzo. She's just complaining about everything. Picking your battles is huge, and it does something else. When you really pick and choose the things you're going to speak up about, it becomes bigger in his eyes. Like, whoa, this must be a big one. You guys ever been around somebody who's just really quiet all the time, and every now and then they speak? It's kind of like a hush comes over the room, like, whoa, Ronnie is saying something. You kind of fall on deaf ears. Your complaints fall on deaf ears if you're always complaining. So try to, as much as possible, stay positive. Men want women who are their peace. This doesn't mean being a doormat, but it means pick your stinking battles. He's going to mess up from time to time. He's not going to be perfect. He's not going to do everything like a rom-com. Cut him some slack. He's trying. Okay. Um, if you guys are enjoying this on YouTube, go ahead and click that like button. I see 5 of you are being stingy with your like. I'm going to assume it's because you're so titillated and watching just like this. But go ahead and click that. You might have to come out of the chat to see the button if you're not watching on a computer. But go ahead and click that, please. It would be very helpful. You guys, if you're enjoying this on Instagram, show me some love, drop me some hearts. If you really want to support me, you can cruise on over to YouTube because YouTube takes care of their content creators. Instagram doesn't do anything. So you guys are just watching for free. Otherwise, sponsors take care of it on this end. So you want to do like Doug did, if you want to do what Natural Honey 87 did, scoot on over to YouTube. Then you can come back to Instagram and scroll. Sean says, whew, I had one date and her steak was just a little overcooked. She turned into Gordon Ramsay on the spot, not yelling and cursing at people. Embarrassing. Oh, yes. You just ever had somebody who's like, they're just so temperamental and you just don't know when they're going to just have an attitude? Or ladies, maybe you're getting into it with another lady and now dudes are getting involved and like now you causing a whole bunch of problems. Thank you, Lynette. She came from Instagram. Shaquana came from Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. What are we on? Number 6? All right, number 6 out of 8 ways, qualities that men find attractive or sexy in a woman. Being grateful. You guys, this is free 99. I was thinking on my way to lunch. I don't know why I was randomly thinking about it. I was, I remember because I was grateful for something. And I thought, wow, we're in such a unique position as women. Men are, thank you so much, Hen Gas. Let's see. Aileen J says she's here from IG. Thank you so much. As women, like all we have to do is show up. We just show up. Hopefully are cute. Thank you, Lana, coming from Instagram. Appreciate that. Love of the Purpose came from Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to smash that like button if you guys switched over. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, thank you. Really appreciate that. And I was just thinking how grateful I was, and I was like, man, I didn't have to do anything for my guy. Like he's just giving this because it's kind of standard, when you're in a relationship. And if I had to do the same thing, the way that we are wired, I'd probably be a little resentful, right? Because men tend to be the provider, protector, whatever. Thank you, Henna. Thank you so much. Switch from IG here to support you. Thank you. I've had this little tickle cough for like a week and it's so annoying. Jessica says, what's her Instagram when I follow her? Oh, you're so sweet. So you got the reverse. I am on, the link is actually going to be it is in the description, but it's just Chasing Yonci. I'm Chasing Yonci on every platform, so it's easy to follow. Tamika says, came from Instagram. Nice, nice, nice. Since you guys have been so sweet, stick around after and I'll answer some questions if you're interested, okay? She said, vet before the first date. Oh, so what I was saying is, I'm super grateful. And as women, I feel like we should be extra grateful because men will just pay. The ones that aren't creeps don't expect anything in return other than, you showing up, smelling good, being nice, being pleasant. But you can go above and beyond by being grateful, which shouldn't even be above and beyond because, I mean, that's just basic manners, right? Hello, everyone who's joining in on Instagram. Feel free to join me on YouTube. We are having fun over here, and YouTube helps content creators. So, shameless pitch. Whoever can come over here will be great. Um, but if we say thank you, it goes a long way. It also lets him know, excuse me, it also lets him know he's on the right track because sometimes women have these really like blank faces, or maybe they don't want to seem too excited, or maybe they're trying to play cool. I don't know. But if you're a guy and you pull out all the stops and you're trying to make sure she's having a good time and you're making sure you're calling her consistently, wouldn't you want to know that you're barking up the right tree and she's not just going along with it? Because there are some women who will just go on dates just to get a free dinner. So I say gas him, but I say it like, with quotation marks, because I know there's like a connotation that you're being patronizing, but gas him, like let him know. Oh, yes, this is amazing. Thank you. You're doing a good job. It's the proverbial pat on the head. Sequin said, oh, get it, Sequin? Sequin says, I switched from Instagram. Thank you so much. Lana has been following on Facebook for about 2 years. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, so the opposite of being grateful is acting entitled. I have talked to some women or seen some things where they'll say, that's what they're supposed to do. Why am I going to be praising him for that? That's like basic. He's supposed to. First of all, he's not supposed to do anything for you. That might be considered chivalrous, and that, yes, it might be chivalry, but he doesn't have to do it for you. And I think there's this idea in a woman's mind sometimes it's very egotistical. She's confident, but she just assumes that men are going to know her worth just instinctively. And yes, we have value in what is the word? Not instinctively. Oh, what is that word? Intrinsically. We have intrinsic value, right? We are valuable as people, but he doesn't know that you're valuable to him until he spends quality time with you. So we cannot have this idea that, oh, my mere presence should, garner all of this special treatment and doing this and this and this. So if a guy basically doesn't know you, he's just getting to know you and he's doing nice things for you, he's showing you a good time, he's being polite and consistent, let him know, say thank you. Number 7, a quality that men find extremely sexy in a woman. Oh, wow, we got more likes than people. That's a nice switch. Thank you guys. If you just joined on Instagram, please consider coming to YouTube. I really appreciate it. They help me out over there. So if you can jump on to YouTube, that would be great. And on YouTube, we're going to stick around and answer questions, and I will be turning off the live stream on Instagram. So make sure you head on over there if you don't want to miss the Q&A. So number 7, oh, thanks for the hearts. Number 7, she takes initiative. Okay, she doesn't wait for him to tell her what she can do to help him out or how she can make his life easier. I always like to say, I think a dream woman for a guy is a hybrid between a cheerleader and an executive assistant, right? Who doesn't like a bubbly cheerleader who encourages you and is there through thick and thin? Cheerleaders will cheer for you until the very end, even if you are like 0 and the other team is 24. Okay. They are always going to be on point. They're going to be cute. They're going to make sure they are there to rah you up. Thank you, Frestland. He said, I appreciate your personality. Thank you. Just wish I wasn't coughing. And so that's the cheerleader part. And then the executive assistant part is making your person's life easier. So for example, right now I'm hanging out with my guy. Now, granted, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about is relationship stuff. I've had a lot of people say, I'm finally in a relationship now. Thanks to your advice. Can you start doing some relationship stuff? My guy actually said it a couple weeks ago. And I was like, no, that's not my demographic. And he's like, babe, but if you do what you do, people are going to like level out of what you're doing and then there aren't going to be content for them. So I was like, okay, you're actually right. So most of this is relationship stuff on this particular live, but I'm hanging out with my guy today. He had to go do a business lunch. And so I already knew he was a little bit pressed for time. I know he has a certain type of water that he likes. I know he's going to need his little AirPods or whatever. They're not Apple, so I don't know what you call them, buds, whatever. He's going to need that for the car, his charger cord, sunglasses, and his wallet. So I just grabbed those things. That took me 10 seconds to do, but it really makes a difference. So when he's rushing out the door, he doesn't have to think. He just get the keys, get the stuff, and go. Little things like that will go a long way. Offering to iron his shirt. I know he's gonna need iron stuff. And you might be saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing wifely duties before you are married." But I think that it is about using discernment, and it is about how he is treating you. If you feel like this man deserves to be in your life, you feel like you guys are on the same page, you feel like as far as your long-term goals, are you planning to get married? I don't think it's bad to show a guy, that you're capable of certain things, to kind of get a little preview, just like we'd want a preview of what he's able to do. Are there other things that you can hold back until marriage? Absolutely. Like, you don't need to be over there cooking and cleaning every single day and doing all this stuff, but why not make yourself useful the times that you are visiting? Um, let's see. Oh, good. She's just scribing for me. Thank you so much. Any other volunteers from Instagram to come over to YouTube helps me out because I got sponsors over here. So if you guys want to pop on over, it's not too late. And we're going to do dating Q&A, dating and relationship Q&A for those who are on Instagram. Okay. Impress. I always say it right. Impressa. I'm gonna do dating questions Q&A on my YouTube. So if you shoot it over to YouTube, I will save your question and I will answer it. But I will not be doing them on Instagram because I gotta incentivize you guys to come over to YouTube. All right. So number 8, being patient. That is the last and final thing. DA says I'm here from Instagram. We love us some Yonci. Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. I'm like the luckiest girl in the world that I get to do this for a living. I really appreciate you guys. Being patient, okay? You never, ever, 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 ever want to rush a man. I like to compare men and women to the pedals in a car. Men have access to the gas pedal, right? They can speed up the process. Women have access to the brake pedal. You can slow down the process. Women, we cannot speed up the process. Why? Because men are initiators. Why are they initiators? Because they're masculine, and those are the men we want. If they don't initiate, we don't want them. So we have to stay in our lane. If we want a masculine man, we have to understand that he's a leader, which means makes us a follower. Does that mean that we are stuck to this person and we have to stay with this person and we have to go with this program? Absolutely not. That's what dating is for. So at some point, if he's not going fast enough for you, guess what you can do? Take your butt out the car, push the brakes, get out the car, exit the vehicle. That's not your job. Yay! Sean made it over. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Deb came over from IG. Heart hands. Thank you so much. Y'all are awesome. I still see 23 people over there who have not gone. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose. This whole little cold is just not the business. Um, I still love the 23 of you on Instagram, but come on over to YouTube. So we have to get out of our minds that pressuring a man is going to have any positive results. I had HD on yesterday on my live stream on Instagram, and he was saying how there was a woman who he actually wanted to marry. Like, he was seriously preparing to ask her to marry him. Oh, Akila came from IG. Thank you. Um, and she started pressing him. And she was like looking at engagement or looking at wedding stuff and all this. And it seemed like she already had this plan together and she was just inserting him into it. Hey, Rachel Yvonne. She's another awesome coach. You guys, if you're not following her, check out her page. But it turned him off. It super turned him off. I told a story about another guy who was planning this elaborate proposal for his girl, and he asked her father for her hand in marriage 4 months prior. Can you imagine if she just was chomping at the bit and was acting like a whole ding dong and pressuring him during those 4 months, and just to find out like it had already been set in stone and he was just waiting for this perfect time where her family was going to be there and her birthday was going to be celebrated and all this stuff. So we have to go with the flow, and we also have to know what amount of time we are comfortable waiting, because there are guys out there who will just string a woman along for like 6 years. But I never feel mad at those guys. I never feel mad at those guys. It's like somebody saying, I got free food from a restaurant. Well, how long did you do it? Until they stop feeding me? Duh. So if you don't like something, you feel like it's not working, remove yourself from the situation. Did someone say hi to HD? HD, if you're on, I didn't see you. I'd wave to you. Hello, hello. We got the whole crew, huh, Stizzo? All right, so that was number 8. All right, so quick recap. Big shout out to Sovereigness for scribing for me. She took, not only did she do the 8, but she put the notes in between. So you guys thank her for that. They will be available permanently on here. But we have being confident. These are 8 things that make a woman sexy in a man's eyes. Being confident. Number 2, having a vibrant and full life. Number 3, knowing how to use her big girl words. Number 4, being a nurturer. Number 5, knowing when to pick her battles. Number 6, being grateful. Number 7, taking initiative. And number 8, being patient. All right, guys, this is the time that we're going to do Q&A. So Instagram, I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to be exclusively YouTube. YouTube, you're welcome. Yay, we have more people on YouTube than Instagram now. He said, facts. Why would a girl ask a guy to stop paying for her bills? Exactly. So this is me trying to summon him. He got to get his beard ready first. I cannot. Hey, Jennifer, come on over to YouTube, guys. I am going to be answering questions. So if you want to ask questions, you got to come on over to YouTube. All right. So do you guys have any questions before I go? I'll stick around for maybe like 10 minutes, unless y'all don't have any questions, which would be a first. But feel free to ask your dating and relationship questions. She said, never ever rush a man. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Oh, she's coming. Yay. Stizzo's coming. For those of you who don't know, my YouTube is Chasing Yonci. Just type Chasing Yonci. I don't think you can click my profile since I'm live. So just go to YouTube and click Chasing Yonci. Yay, the numbers are going down. I've never been excited for the numbers to go down on Instagram. Come on over, guys. The 15 of you, I see you. The 16 of you, come on over to Instagram. Actually, let me type this, or YouTube. Join me on YouTube. I am just finished up with my live stream, and we're going to do questions and answers right now. At Chasing. I'm trying to type, y'all. Yonci. Come on, come on, come on. Gotta thank my parents for giving me such a unique name, because you could just Google and everything pops up. There aren't too many of us running around in this world. Okay. Yes, Bree. Oh, Sean's already over there, actually. I think Stizzo. Yeah. Darnell says, you said it. Nice. All right, there's 12 of you. Come on, y'all. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. We're answering questions. Yes, Sean said, we in here. All right, Akila asked her first question. Oh, someone else beat you. Oh, okay. I didn't even see these questions. All right, we'll go in order. Afifa says, should I accept a date that is less than 4 hours lead time? Gasp. Clutch pearls. All right, 10 of you. 10 of you are still on Instagram. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. Come on down. The water's warm. In Texas, it really is warm. All right. I would not accept a date that was a first date with less than 4 hours lead time. I will give you a little tip. Okay. This is a little old school tip. I didn't make this up. It actually makes sense. I would not accept a date from a man after Wednesday. So yes, Tizzo, the tribe is on YouTube. So your date, your first date should be, doesn't have to be, but should be ideally a Saturday date, right? That's the number one date. That is like prime real estate on his calendar. That's a very good sign if he gives you a Saturday date. However, if he plans in advance, I wouldn't say turn down a Thursday date, a Tuesday date, whatever, but understand, don't value it as much. Okay. A man giving you a Saturday date is a big deal. Men, can we agree? Like, that's prime real estate. So on your calendar. So after Wednesday and he's scrambling, you could be a last minute option. His first choices might have been taken, but a man who really is interested in you, unless he met you like the same day and he's just excited to see you, but a man is really interested in you, he's going to make sure that you're available. He's not going to want to risk the chance that you're not free that weekend. Y'all, this cold, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. The 13 of you guys on YouTube, if you want to ask, I'm on Instagram, come on over to YouTube. If you want to ask any questions, we're gonna hang out for a little bit and do some Q&A. Excuse me, y'all. She getting away on my secrets. My bad, Sean. So yeah, to me, it's insulting. You're assuming I'm sitting at home, right? Remember, number 2 was having a vibrant life. You have a vibrant life. Why is he assuming that you're just sitting at home available to hang out? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I think she do a follow up. Um, First date was Friday. Okay, this is a second date. There's a little bit more grace if it's a second date, but I would make sure that he's not starting a pattern of barely giving you a heads up. Spontaneity is okay. It should not be a continuous thing. Okay, excuse me. Next question, Henan D. I don't know how to pronounce that. How to date when you are a single mom with limited time? That's a loaded question. I don't know if I'm gonna have a short answer, but I will say this: you're gonna absolutely need a village. You're gonna need a support system, somebody who can watch your children. Um, and chances are you'll need a guy who's either just really understanding instinctively or has kids or has had small children. I don't know how old your kids are, so that he can understand your limited time. Now, I think I forgot to add something into. Oh, I did. Number two, interestingly enough, she has a vibrant life. She's not sitting around waiting for it to be rescued from a boring existence. And I forgot, I put in parentheses, she leaves room for him. You have to genuinely decide if you can make time for a guy, because that is one of the toughest things is when a guy is getting to know a woman and it seems like he's getting crumbs. So depending on the age of your kids, you might not be in a position to really devote yourself to a guy, or you're gonna have to get creative and do a lot of video dates and things like that. um, yeah, I have more, but that's it's gonna go down a whole trail. Join me on YouTube, you guys, if you want to ask questions and join the conversation. Being fully transparent, YouTube takes care of content creators, Instagram does not. And so if you come over there, the sponsors will take care of it. You don't even have to buy a badge or anything like that. It will just help your girl. So if you appreciate what I do this full time, y'all. I'm always in hustle mode. This is a way you can help me by just literally just switching apps. Go over to YouTube, and then you can come back to Instagram. Okay. Do we pay for any dates while dating? Ma'am, no. And don't feel bad about it, okay? I remember my dad telling me this when I was growing up. He said, men are literally grateful to see, I don't like talking in front of guys. Men are grateful for a woman's presence. Our culture, the media, the mainstream media, those who are in power have made it big business to make women think that they are the same as men. We are not, okay? We are not. Men and women are so different in the most amazing ways. It's kind of like pizzas and burgers. One isn't better than the other. Sometimes you just really want a pizza. Sometimes you really want a burger. Two totally different things, but they would look dumb trying to compete. Like, I have cheese. Well, I have a crust. Like, okay, they're two different things. But one of the things with men, they enjoy working hard and being rewarded with, earning money. And then they love to shower women with what they have, right? They love to take care of their kids. They love to take care of women, masculine men. It just it does something for them. The closest thing I can compare is when you're a mom and you realize that your kids need you and you have what they need. You ever had your kid cry and the auntie's trying to hold them or the neighbor's trying to hold them and you're like, just give them here. And you instinctively know what position they like some like this position, some like this position, or facing forward, and boom, they stop crying. It's just this feeling of like, yeah, men feel like that. The thing is, you have to pull out of them the emotions, which is why I gave you the list of 8 things, which is, just some of the ways. But when you make a man feel good, he'll keep paying for more. It's like the movie theater, right? You go to the movies to watch a movie. You enjoyed it. You felt satisfied. You weren't like, darn it, I paid for this. Or you go eat, you feel satisfied. So as women, we have to understand what makes a man feel satisfied by our presence. And no, you do not have to pay for dates. Now, what you can do if you want to do something, you could bake him some cookies. Let's say maybe you find out what his favorite treat is. Maybe you could offer to buy an ice cream, something small, or pitch in and maybe offer for the tip if you just absolutely felt the need to. But a lot of times gestures go a long way. Okay, you could give him a massage, but I would stay away from paying. It could also be a turnoff for a guy. The next question: do you think it's a red flag if a guy asks you to his house at the end of a first date? Absolute red flag. That's a crimson, crimson, crimson. Even if he wasn't trying to get you in his bed, he's telling you what he thinks of you. Because no man who respects a woman is going to think that she's going to be comfortable or think that she's going to be comfortable coming to his house on a first date. I don't care it's 2023. I don't care that people, are grown or whatever. But typically most men are going to be respectful. Oh, you ask your questions on YouTube. So if you join me on YouTube, Chasing Yonci, the questions will be asked there. That's why I had everybody leave Instagram and go on over there and you can ask your questions, love. So join us, Britt. Yes. So any guys, if you're watching, if you think it's innocent, don't be inviting women to your house on the first date. Not even second or third. That's just so intimate. By the way, I have a bunch of you guys on here who have not hit the like button yet. Please go ahead and do that now. It lets YouTube know this is the type of content more people need to see, and it will push it out. So please go ahead and do that. What's the next question? Okay. Oh, it just jumped. Okay. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, Lana says, who was Lana? He says he loves me. He says he loves it here. I'm his piece, etc. But he doesn't want marriage because his last one failed, as did mine. I want marriage. What would you advise? This is going to sound harsh and direct. Get out of there. You will resent him. It's like people who don't agree on wanting kids. Thank you guys. Y'all got the likes up quickly. There are two of you who look like you're short. So two more people can hit that like. We'll be even. Or they just jumped off. Now it's even. You have to be aligned. Those are your big things. Darnell, go ahead and jump on YouTube if you don't mind, because I want people to come on YouTube. They help me out over there as a content creator. So if you can just switch apps, come on over to YouTube. I will answer your question. I actually like that question. Um, that's one that should be a deal breaker. So top things when I'm working with a client, we talk about our must-haves and must-haves. You got to be aligned on usually faith, if faith is a big deal for you, marriage, if you want marriage, kids, if you want more kids. Those are kind of like the top things you have to, you know, be on the same page about. He's either going to resent you for pushing the marriage topic and wanting marriage. You're going to resent him for not wanting marriage and not being married. What are some good pointers for women to take the initiative? Ooh, good question. These are for if you're in a relationship, right? So taking initiative would be kind of along the lines of helping out. Is it? Did I? Oh no, it is on the same helping out. So, like I gave the example of getting his stuff ready as he was going to leave. If you see maybe that your guy struggles in an area and you're strong in it, instead of nagging him, help him. So I don't think he'll care if I say this. My guy tends to not be good with keeping up shopping lists. You know, those people who just go to the store and they're like, try to remember things. And then they go home like, oh man, I wish I'd gotten this. So I just made a thing where I said, hey, if you notice something is low or I notice something is low, just tell me and add to the list. And so now he'll be like, oh, babe, add this to the list, add this to the list, add this to the list. And so I keep this little list on my phone. That's something small. Or let's say I know that, let's say if his kids are over and I know he's going to be running late from something, I might offer to feed the kids, or take him and go do something fun because they've been stuck in the house all day, things like that. Just finding ways where you can be a blessing is huge. I apologize for the long extended question and typos. No worries, no worries. Okay, thank you for answering our questions. Absolutely. Um, every time I try to scroll, it just jumps. Oh, you're all talking to each other. What's a good way to be direct without being disrespectful? I think it goes back to the being I, right? What I need is, or what really makes me happy, or what really turns me on, or what really makes me feel loved is this. If you keep going from an I perspective, because what you're saying is, these are my requirements, and he knows whether or not he can do them. And then he can choose to eliminate himself, or he knows you can walk away. So we have to understand as women, we don't. He said, "Let me go to your IG and bring them over here." That would be amazing, Sean. We don't control the guy. We don't make him like us. He has to feel this desire to be all that we need him to be. So all we can do is be as enticing and enjoyable and delightful as possible, and then let him kind of respond to that. If he's not responding to that, this is the passive role as a feminine woman. We can exit stage left, right? We can't turn things up. So we let them know what we need. They either get with the program or we dip out, and we don't have to get rude. We don't have to get snarky at all. She said, I'm watching on YouTube. I can't find the comment question to ask my question. Uh, okay, so there isn't a specific comment question. You just type it in the chat box. So just type it in the chat box there and it'll come up. It's not like Instagram where there's a queue. But thank you for trying. Okay. She said it's so hard for me to stop pulling out my card. And trust me, I struggle with that too. I really do. And then I realize like I don't have to overcompensate. My value is in my presence. My value is in the things that I do. The thing that he loves the most is my cooking. So it's like if I really feel like I need to pull my weight, just stay in the kitchen. Keep cooking stuff. um okay. Sean. Yikes, it got spicy in these comment streets. Okay, he said it ain't TMI. Oh, she might think it's TMI. Y'all are missing the spicy comments on YouTube. Y'all gotta come over to YouTube. Okay, it's going down on the YouTube. All right, let's see. Is it a turnoff to tell a guy you will meet him versus being picked up for a date? In 2023, I don't think so. I don't think that is. And you could be honest. You could just say, "Hey, I really," and let him know, "I really appreciate that chivalry. It's man, it has been so long since I've had a guy offer, and that's so sweet. I'm not quite there yet where I'm comfortable, being picked up at my home. Is it okay if I meet you there?" But I would absolutely let him know you appreciate that gesture. Um, but no, I don't think it's a turn off. I have had a guy be offended before, and to me that was kind of a red flag, and he ended up being a weirdo. So any type of guy who is questioning someone, trying to be secure and safe, probably stranger danger. um, Not he may low key need a place to sleep and a roof over his head that night. um, where did it go? Link says, I do not go to each other's house until 3 to 6 months of real trust, maybe. All right. Lana says, 3-year relationship. I'm 48. He's 53. Our children are adults. He lives in his own place, but lives at my home. Basically, I never ask for anything. How soon how soon is it to tell someone you have children? I think immediately. I'm like, hi, my name is Yonci. I'm a mother of two. I think immediately. I think those are really important things. It's kind of like you think about the stuff that they put on dating apps. What area do you live in? What's your status? Like, are you divorced, single? Do you have kids? Do you want kids? Uh, Faith. Like that's, and then obviously the other stuff you can physically see if you're in person. So no, I think absolutely immediately tell them you have children. Because if that's a deal breaker, why would you want to get attached to someone or they get attached to you? All right, guys, we have 7 people who are on here who have not hit that like button. So please take a moment to smash that like button. It lets YouTube know to push this out to more people. Yes, we're down to 7 people on Instagram. You guys are all coming over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. Come on over to YouTube. If you want to ask questions, I see your question. Come over to YouTube. That's where I'm answering questions. Um, Thank you guys. You guys are seriously awesome. Darnell says, I'm here. Thank you. All right. Should I talk to a man every day for an hour? He knows my availability pattern, etc. Ooh, now it's kind of hard to change the course. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. It's kind of hard. Oh, you guys are hitting like I didn't even know there was a reaction hearts. There's the reaction hearts and there's the video like button. If you guys could smash that, it lets YouTube know you guys are enjoying this. But feel free to keep sending the little hearts. Those are nice and animated. Appreciate that. Those of you just joining on Instagram, come on over to YouTube if you want to ask your questions. Um, can I talk to him? So if you've already been talking to him for an hour, it might feel like game playing if you suddenly switch it up. I always say less is more at the very beginning. That's just basic human psychology. So if every time they're getting you on the phone, if every time they text you're immediately responding back, it's kind of like one extreme or the other. Um, it could be a little bit harder. They could bore of you more easily. But maybe you just shorten the conversations a little bit. Let me know, Miss Ellington, how long you've been talking, like how many days, weeks, or whatever. That will help me. But again, as the woman who joined me yesterday, Kara, she was saying there isn't an absolute science to this, and it was funny because um, it was funny because there are a lot of things that I have as general rules. They're principles. I like to use the word principles rather than rules because rules are black and white, but principles. And then you have to use your intuition and discernment and all that to kind of go with the flow. So I broke a lot of, if they were rules, I'd be breaking a lot of rules in my relationship. Um, but I had to use discernment and use and look at each situation as an individual situation. He said reading is sexy. Yes. Come on over, you guys, to YouTube. If you don't mind switching apps, we're answering questions over here. And we have sponsors at YouTube. So it helps your girl a lot if you come over here. You said Stizzo had a good question. I don't think I saw. Oh, that's the one right before. Okay. I think I just got to her question. Um, oh no, I did skip it. No. Oh no, no, no. I did answer it. Okay, okay. So the question, I'm just barely catching up. Sorry, guys. Doggone this runny nose. Mhm. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Um, is it rude when a woman asks a man how much he makes and his job on the third date? Third date, fourth date, fifth date, sixth date. Like, who asks how much a man makes? That's such a turnoff. And I'm glad you brought that up because um, a lot of men are sensitive to gold diggers. Okay. The comparison for women would be a man who just wants to get in your pants. So you might actually be okay sleeping with him down the road. But if he comes out the gate asking you what your favorite position is, or how many bodies you've had, or when you want to get busy with him, you would be so turned off, even though you're not turned off by the idea of sex. Same thing with men. They're not turned off by the idea of spending money on you. But if you talk about it, it's like, just leaves a bad taste in their mouth. So I would absolutely steer away from job questions. And I even tell women when they're making small talk, I know it's normal to be like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" I would even avoid that if possible, just stay out of that whole neighborhood. If you want to kind of make small talk, you could just say, "Do you love your job?" And then he has a choice of explaining what he does for a living or not. Or you could say, "If you could do anything for a living and money didn't matter, what would you do?" Those are small talk type of questions that are open ended and will keep get the conversation going. But yeah, absolutely. Don't ask how much he makes. That's super cringy. And a lot of times when we're asking what job he has, so she can kind of gauge how much he's making. Um, let's see. When is it appropriate to go to their house? I would say that's up to each individual person. I would say don't go to their house until you're ready to have sex with them. I'm just keeping it a buck because that's usually what happens when people are into each other chemistry wise and they're alone in a house and there's a bed. So if you're not ready to sleep with them, I would stay out of their house. I don't know if you guys agree with that advice. That's my advice. I know a guy who had a physical condition that didn't allow him to be around large groups of people or really leave the house. Oh, wow. He's one of the most considerate guys I know. Part of me feels like I would miss out on things being with him. The other part feels like he's a great guy. You would just have to sit with that. She said, any advice? Yeah, you'd have to really weigh that out. And maybe you date him and start to see what that looks like in real life. Because sometimes we can think we can handle something and then we actually start going through it and it's like, ooh. Hey guys, come on over to YouTube. That's where all the fun is. We're answering questions over here. So if you want to submit a question, pop on over to YouTube. Same name, Chasing Yonci. My boyfriend wants me to move in with him. I told him I will not move in until marriage. Good girl. He said he wants to marry me before the end of the year, but is upset because he states I'm trying to use an incentive and he wants to ask to marry me, but when he wants to, not because he wants me to move in. Um, okay. Not directed at you, I'm saying him. Um, if he wants to marry you, that's fine. He can marry you, but those two things are um you not being comfortable moving in before marriage should not make him want to speed up the marriage process. He should want to marry you because he wants to marry you. I said yesterday, you can learn a lot about a guy by his response to your no. So that is your absolute right to have that, make that decision. He needs to respect that. This is an opportunity for you to find out if he is mature or not, because some men, some women cannot deal with disappointment. They don't deal with disappointment very well. And it could come ultimately from a place of love, like, oh, I want to spend time with you. But at the end of the day, there are going to be times where you're going to want something different than they want, and you're not going to want to deal with drama. So these are all reasons why I say dating someone for a long time is really good, because you see all the different sides of them. So just keep your eye open. BTITT. She said, I can't find it. I'm on my phone. I'm not sure what you're looking for, Stizzo. Oh, she said, oh, found it, whatever she was looking for. Delano was on Instagram and ran here. Thank you. Chris says here from Instagram, thank you for coming over. What if you have already paid for a couple of dates? How do you stop that? They've paid two. I mean, also stop that expectation. So I don't know if you could stop an expectation, but you could stop reaching in your purse. And it becomes difficult. I've done that before, and it's so difficult and it's awkward, and you're kind of like, but I would get on your phone, like when the bill comes, get on your phone, maybe use the restroom, like start to just not even be in that position. If you literally need to leave your purse in the car, so it's physically not even on you, like whatever you need to do, Chris. Um, Sean said, I'm still trying to figure out the YouTube comment box. I'm almost reported and blocked by mistake twice. That's hilarious. Okay. Oh my goodness. Scrolling. All right, you wanted me to ask again. What if they okay, what if they asked to come over and I told them it's too soon? Same thing. She needs to respect your no and pay attention. Does she turn into a whole child and have a meltdown? That's crazy. The woman's trying to invite herself to your house. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, a no is a no, and a no is a whole sentence. Who said that? She said, "Phew, it's over for me. My top love language is quality time, so I be available, girl." Um. Okay, so you guys started talking. Oh Lord, 619. Oh, I was thinking June 2019. You're probably saying like June 19th. My bad. 2 hours and the one after. I'm a professional, so lesson learned to not equate time on phone to money. Oh, okay. No, that's totally fine. He's a month in. Yeah, he needs his time. We cupcaked every single day for like hours at a time. No. You're good. Not I need Jesus and Yonci. Stizzle, you be so sweet. You be gassing me, girl. Thank you. It happened to me on the first date. Darnell says, sheesh, some aggressive women. Hi, guys. I see 10 of you on Instagram. Please come over to YouTube. I'm answering your questions over here. She said I'm a travel nurse. That should be the red flag. I'm just kidding. Ask me how much I make on my first date, and I'm going to say enough to cut you off. Oh, snap. Snap, Sean. I ain't mad, though. Uh, Link says, has dating become way too egregious and complicated in the Western world? And this has caused men, for the most part, to avoid and seek away from our birthplace. Can we speak about this honestly? I don't know. That's cringy to me. Every time I see passport bro stuff, I'm like, that's just so cringy. I feel like it's an excuse. I feel like people are people everywhere. And I think that if you go to another country, you run the risk of someone looking for a green card. You run the risk of someone using a person for their money. Um, I just feel like, you got to work with what you got. I was dating the same group of people. I am a single mom of two. I have the same like issues that other people might say would make it hard to date. I was living in the most remote area, not with Black people around, and I made work what I had. I think you have to become the best version of yourself, and you have to be willing to just kiss a lot of frogs. I just think it's this like pie in the sky idea that we can just outsource, go to another country. Like you're gonna have all different dilemmas. You're gonna have cultural clashes. You're gonna have the expenses. She's gonna be missing her family if you bring her here, and you're gonna miss your family. I just don't see that as the answer. Dating now looks scary. I think it's all what we make it. I know you're laughing emoji, but I think it's really what we make it. And I say to people all the time, if you get burnt out and you're tired, take a break from it, come back refreshed because it's so worth it. I'm so glad I didn't give up. How long should you wait for sex? Is there a rule? So there is my faith-based answer, and there's my non-spiritual answer. Faith-based answer, the Bible says wait for marriage. My non-spiritual answer is don't have sex until you won't regret it. So only you will know if you regret it. You will regret sex if the relationship ends. If you feel like you guys are dating, he's your man, you feel like, you know, possibly things might go left and you break up for whatever reason, okay, maybe then you'd be comfortable doing that. But if you're early on and you haven't established what he feels about you and you're a normal woman, you're going to feel away. You're going to feel away if he hasn't committed. Most women want commitment before they have sex. And it's not even easy to enjoy sex outside of a commitment because you're wondering, like, are there other women? Is he going to think differently of me when we hook up? Is he going to stick around after we hook up? So most women, I would advise at least wait for a relationship, a commitment, but ideally waiting for a marriage, right? So then it's not just sex. But I would say, in your heart of hearts, why do you want to do it? Do you want to do it because you absolutely want to do it? Do you feel like it's going to bring you together? Is he pressuring you? You should be wanting to do it as a representation of your love towards him, not just because you're, not just because you want to be intimate. I ain't pay attention to Instagram. Sorry, y'all. It's over here pointing in a random direction, not even at me. Sorry, guys. We're on YouTube. That's where I'm focusing. I'm answering their questions, dating and relationship questions. So jump on over to Chasing Yonci at YouTube, and you can get your questions answered over there. She said, okay, thanks. I was asked what advice I would give to new couples. Um, okay, that threw me off. It wasn't a question. Okay. Or the first kiss. Ooh. Yeah, first kiss, I would say absolutely go with what you feel. If you're feeling it, go for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with the first kiss on a first date. I would say though, don't make out on the first date. Thank you, Sean. I wouldn't be tonguing somebody or having them all on my neck. Like, it just gives a wrong impression. But a little peck, even a little passionate kiss, I think it's okay. Another question, Lana says, is it bad to help a good man, a middle-aged 3-year relationship, get back on his feet or build without marriage, but he firmly believes in lifelong commitment? Um, what do you mean by help him get back on his feet? What does that mean? Does that mean you're financially supporting him or assisting him? Please let me know. To a woman paying for all the dates, is he running? So behind these comments, Sean says, is he running to the men's room when it's time to pay every time? Just trying to understand how he's pulling this off. I cannot. Whoo! That's funny. The awkwardness is crazy to stand there and watch her page time. Right. Lana says, great answers. Thank you. How long should you date them? Uh, in regards to what? How long should you date them for what? This is not about passport bros. It's just a deep concern in general regarding our society, and the programming has interfered with us simply getting to know one another. Oh, okay. Um, oh, thank you, Delano. So I do think that we are pretty messed up a lot, when it comes to dating. I think there's, especially looking at that post that I did, that screenshot of the person asking about the ice cream, the thing about the ice cream invitation. Yikes. Excuse me. I think I definitely think that I will have clients for a long time. I'll just put it that way. I definitely think that we need to grow, but I try to focus on, what I can control, and I can control my little corner of the world. And so I've got, what, 18,000 plus followers, and these people are listening. They're eating up what I'm saying. I'm getting messages saying they're now in relationships, they're getting married, they're engaged, whatever. So it's encouraging me that people are listening. Maybe I won't affect the majority of people, but I love the fact that at least the people that I've reached, it's going to affect the next generation. They have kids, and I have one lady, she's like, I'm married, but I'm sending over my young people. I don't know if it's through her church or how she knows it's young women, but she immediately sent someone over. It's like, oh, I came from so-and-so's recommendation. So I have to focus on the positive. Otherwise, I'd be absolutely depressed. But I see there was a woman today. This is a little bit off the topic, but there was a young lady. I don't know why she put on her thing that she's a virgin, because I'm like, the way she was moving her body didn't really seem virginal. But I just thought, what possessed this woman to start an account and completely objectify herself? It was like an OnlyFans type of a vibe, and I think she actually has one. But there are a lot of women out here who really value getting attention from men, just pure attention. And that's very fulfilling for her. Um, and Excuse me. Don't ask any questions, Sean. If you think that, don't ask any questions. Let her think it's a surprise. Um, I think that a lot of women are confused because they haven't come across or they don't know what a good guy looks like. And so they're just excited to get attention, or they're used to getting men to pay for things. And so there starts to become a very transactional relationship with men and women. So I think it's helpful that people like me are able to come here and share a more traditional view, and teach women what it actually looks like. But I'm encouraged because I do see that there are men that are good guys. They just need to find a woman that lines up with what they want. Okay, I'm going to answer one more question. I have Akila's question here, and then I'm going to sign off. Y'all, my little cough has just kept me from being great right now. Anyone wants to join for the last minute questions? We are on YouTube right now. I'm going to get back to doing that. I used to do it more, where I'd come to YouTube but leave my Instagram on. So if you guys want to do that, come on over. Okay, she said, I was on Trips Live last night and he was talking about the housing market as being a deterrent for settling down because of the majority people can't buy a house. What is the point? Um, so you're saying as if it's too expensive to get a house, you can't settle down. But why can't you settle down in an apartment? I don't understand that. That I don't understand. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for the positive feedback. Lana says, I help financially support him, not 100%, but he mostly lives with me. 3 years. He does work hard and hopefully a breakthrough, like a big contract will come. In the meantime, I've been supporting him like a wife. Again, if he makes you happy and you don't resent him, you like it, I love it. You know, I know for me, just the way that I'm wired, I can help a guy in an interim, but I think 3 years I would be resentful. I'm just keeping it a buck. There are just certain things that I need. I think I would be resentful. She said I wouldn't want to settle down in an apartment. Honestly, I would settle down in an apartment, uh, if that was my only option because I love love. So I'd rather have a partner and be in a cardboard box than to be alone in a mansion. That's just me. I've always been someone who loves love. When I was dating back in the day, I was honest about my finances. If I couldn't afford a date, I wasn't asking a woman out. Yeah, I can't ask a woman out and expect her to pay. Exactly. So, did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys have fun? I hope you guys liked it. I love doing this with you guys. I can't wait till I can start doing in-person events again. I keep saying I'm going to. I promise I'm going to. It's just been having a lot on my plate. Trying to make this move to Texas is a lot too. Um, Couple things, you guys, a couple resources. Is anyone new here, by the way? Is anyone watching this here on YouTube that it was your very first time? Any brand new newbies? 'Cause I see a lot of names that I've seen before. Let me know if any newbies are on here. Oh, Delana was new. Nice. Nice to have you. I have a couple of resources. Um, the how you got to keep a man attractive and you got it out quick. You guys can watch the video. Those of you on Instagram, you guys can watch the video on YouTube. It is going to be posted here. Oh, Crystal's new. Nice. It's going to be posted so you guys can go back and watch it. He said, but I'm a veteran. Nice. What was I going to say? So I have a couple of resources. So any of you guys who want extra help, because to be perfectly honest, the content that I give you is what is the problem, why it's a problem, but how to course correct. I save that for my paid content. Okay. Yeah, I got to eat somehow, right? I just gave you all the free stuff. It's bad. So if you guys want to level it up, if you guys enjoy just what you see in the window, I invite you to come in the store. I have a couple of options. I have webinars, like I just taught one this past week. Great feedback. I posted some of the testimonials, and I'm going to be posting a lot more these upcoming days. But I do webinars. I have one on dating apps, how to create a dating app that is just A1. That's going to make any guy want to stop in his tracks. Obviously, if he finds you attractive. I have one for flirting techniques. How do you stand out, especially on dating apps or online? What is it that you can say or do that will make you stand apart from other women? Because there are just tons of beautiful women, especially if you're like in LA with me, like me, lots of beautiful women. So how do you stand out and catch you guys' attention? That webinar is called Secret. There is a webinar I recently just did. You can DM me the word magnet. And that one, it teaches you how to be attractive to a man from an emotional standpoint. So you've already made the contact. how do you actually get that first date and how that first date turned into second date, third date, fourth date proposal. Okay. And so a lot of the stuff that I talked about today, it goes kind of in that vein. But those are webinars. I also have a 4.5-hour course that covers the gamut. 3 modules, goes over how to mentally prepare for dating. There's a lot that has to happen inside of you that makes you get to that confident state, right? That you're this amazing woman. Then the second module is understanding men, how they think, how they're wired, what they interpret, and how they see things. And then the last one is all about femininity. And so that's my course, Dating 101. And then last but not least is my one-on-one coaching. That's what I do the most of. I have a lot of clients. We work together 50 minutes at a time, just short of an hour. And we just talk about whatever they need to talk about. I give them homework assignments, and I have an individual session or a 6 session package. So any of that stuff that you want, slide in my DM. Let me know what you need, and I'll give you the information. Um, and I am going to be logging off, y'all. I'll be back on in a couple of days. Enjoy your weekends. I don't typically post on the weekends. I might, I don't know. But if not, I'll be back on Monday. All right, guys, have a beautiful day.